this is J.D. Stewart. I'm here with Brad Henderson. Brad is going to do a lecture for us this coming Sunday. And I'm excited. I can't tell you how excited I am because, first of all, Brad's a personal friend, but he's also one of, rephrase that, he's not one of the best. He is the best magic coaches and teachers. His knowledge and skill is broad, vast, and I am really honored to have him with us. How you doing, Brad?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me, JD.
Well, thank you. Tell you what, we got a lot of people excited about the lecture coming up this Sunday. Tell us a little bit about it. What are you going to cover? What kind of things you would cover?
Well, if you know me, and you know me, and I appreciate those kind words, JD and I have worked on several projects where we've worked on some of his own magic and tried to help him best realize his vision. I'm really not interested in teaching people tricks. I'm really not interested in teaching people moves. You have enough tricks, you have enough moves. What I want to do is help teach people how better to think about their magic. So in this lecture, we're going to address a specific aspect of magic, the craft of magic, not the art of magic, which I'm happy to talk on at great length, but the craft of magic, and specifically the element of deception in magic. So what we're going to do is take a classic magic trick, which surprisingly not a lot of magicians know, and we're going to drill down very, very deeply into how and why it works. And from that, we're going to be able to posit certain conclusions that will help you in putting together any magic trick you can ever imagine, create an incredibly powerful and deceptive and practical method. So this is an extended lesson on the fundamentals of the deceptive elements of the magic experience.
Well, now, you said that this is a craft, the craft of deception.
Yes.
And I guess what has me excited about it is we're going to be able to take that concept. It's really what you're teaching is a concept.
I'm giving you tools. So the difference between craft and art, all art requires craft. Craft is the ability of the sculptor to make a face in clay look like a face in clay. The artist element is how the creator is able to make a face in clay that makes us feel something emotionally. But you can't have art without craft. Craft deals with technique. Craft deals with deception. Craft would deal with blocking or scripting. These are elements of craft. And there's nothing wrong with craft. In magic, so often we poo-poo this idea of we want to denigrate craft as less than art. But it's not. The chair that I'm sitting in was made by a craftsman. And if the craftsman lacked talent, I wouldn't be sitting here. I'd be on the floor. And craftsmen can be artistic. A craftsman can make a chair that not only serves well as a chair, but can also be beautiful to look at. And to me, I consider magic an art form. In fact, I feel it is one of, if not the most profound art forms that humankind has ever created. But we cannot have the art of magic without first mastering the craft of magic. And as deception is one of the key elements that makes magic magic, we must become masters of deception. So what we're going to discuss is how deception works from a magical perspective. And not only are we going to deal with some big issues that you'll be able to apply to your thinking as a whole, but also very specific techniques. And that's why we're going to do this in context of a very specific trick. So you're going to learn a trick. If you're one of these trick guys, there's a great trick. You're going to learn it. You'll be able to do it. If you don't know it, it'll be one of the best tricks you do probably. But even if you do know the trick, I guarantee you, you will leave thinking differently about how magic works.
Okay, what's the difference between a trick yeah, craft and technique, or being something technical.
Technique is craft. Technique is an element of craft, right? So the technique are the skills I use to produce the artwork that then conveys the meaning.
Okay.
So my technique in doing a double lift, let's say, is part of the craft of magic. What I do with that double lift and how I do that double lift, in what context, with what words, with what premise, with what effect, with what piece, what performance piece, that becomes the art, right? So if I were to do a piece of magic for you, and you were to look and go, well, that's 2 cards. Oh, he just cut those cards really fast to the top. Oh, he's not really shuffling those cards. Those aren't really. Without technique, without craft, you can't produce the feeling of magic. So this is a lecture about some of the most foundational concepts at the heart of what we do.
Great. Well, thank you, Brad. I got to thank you for it. I hope you all were listening.
And let me tell you, there's one other thing that we're going to talk about. So
yeah,
that's not just the whole lecture, but that is the meat and potatoes of the lecture. I mean, that's what you're coming for it. And look, this may be being a bad salesman, but this isn't everybody's cup of tea, right? There are a lot of people in magic who just want to learn a trick and know how it's done, and then they're going to fantasize about doing it for someone. If you're that person, don't waste your time. You're going to be bored out of your mind, right? I get that. This is for people who really want to understand their art form from the inside out, who want to be empowered, not just to copy tricks that they see other magicians do, but empowered to have their own visions and then have the tools to realize them. But we all love tricks, don't we? So I'm going to start the lecture with a very simple, super fun little magic moment that you'll be able to do literally anywhere in the world. You could do it in a bathing suit and line at a water park, and you've got 3 minutes of fun, a magical moment. It's not a blockbuster, but it'll make somebody's day, right? I did this. The thing I'm going to teach, I'm going to start out with. I was doing a show. I was at a casino in the Poconos, the Catskills. I was in the Catskills, and I was dealing with a guy. He was the pizza seller, right? And he was having a terrible day. And he said something, whatever, and I did this little bit for him. And he said to me, "You just made my week." Now, don't get your hopes up. I'm not going to teach you how to vanish the Statue of Liberty. I'm not going to blow your mind, but I'm going to show you something that every person who attends will be able to do, and be able to do right then. And then after we do our feature lecture content, I'm going to teach you one of my favorite interactive over the internet kind of tricks. It's not my trick. It's a trick that goes back several years. I've been doing it in all of my Zoom shows. I've done it. I did it in a live situation where everybody had the cards. I've done it hundreds of times. It never fails to impress. It is a card-based trick, so everybody needs a deck of cards. But it's simple. It's fun. You're going to get to hear my scripting for it, and I'll walk you through it. So if you are a trick person, you're going to leave with 2 things that you will be able to do. But that's not why you should be coming, right? This is for people who want to spend some time seriously thinking about what makes magic magic. And if we have time, one of my favorite things to do is to open it up for questions. I can talk for hours on end, as you can tell already. And if we want to get into some of the more esoteric, artistic approaches to magic, I'll be an open book for you. But who knows how that's going to go, right? That's going to depend on what you all bring to the table. But I'm here for you, and I'm happy to share anything that I can. And remember, my goal isn't to teach you tricks, right? There are enough books on your shelves that you haven't read. There are enough downloads in your folders that you've never watched. We've got enough tricks. My goal is to share with you ideas that will help you not only understand magic a little bit more deeply, but should you so choose, be able to construct magic and make it more deceptive because you understand what's really going on and what makes people deceived in a way that we can use to create the feeling for responsive magic. That's my goal. And if you come along with an open mind, I have no doubt that we will achieve that together.
Well, Brad, thank you so very much. I'm excited about that. And I hope you all are listening to that and you kind of get an idea of the type of magical thinker Brad is. And you're going to get 2 hours of that. And you're going to walk away with your mind exploded. I mean, this is great. Brad, thank you so very much. I appreciate it. We're looking forward to Sunday. All
Thank
right?
you.
Thank you.
It's this Sunday? I can't make it this Sunday. No,
Can't make it this Sunday. Don't do that to me. All right. Thank you, Brad. All right. We'll see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.